If you ever bought an option contract and watched the stock move exactly in your direction and you still lost money, this video is going to break that down and fix that problem permanently. Because in option trading, being right is not just enough. You can be right in the direction and still lose money because of how the contract is priced. So today, I'm going to break down exactly why that happens using three simple ideas: in the money, at the money, and out of the money. And then I'm going to connect it to intrinsic value and extrinsic value so you finally understand what you're actually buying. What's good? This is DJ Smoke, or formerly the Chrome Trader, and I'm about to put you on game, so you better lock in. So if you're serious about trading options, this is one of the most foundational lessons that will change how you see every contract on your screen. So most beginners look at options like cheap lottery tickets, but professionals look at them like pricing models. And once you understand this, you stop guessing and start structuring trades with intention. So let's break this down. All right, so we're going to break this down in sections. So section one is going to be what moneyness actually means. So moneyness is just a way of describing where the stop price is compared to the strike price. So it's nothing complicated, and there's actually three states: in the money, at the money, and out of the money. And each one tells you something very important about risk, cost, and probability. So let's start with in the money. Section two, in the money explained. So an option is in the money when it already has real built-in value. So for a call option, that means the stop price is above the strike price. So an example would be, let's say you have a stock is at $110 and the strike price is $100. That $10 difference is real value that already exists inside the contract. If you exercised it, you would be buying at 100 while the market is at 110. So that $10 is called intrinsic value. So in the money options are not just potential, they already have value baked in. This is why they cost more, but they also behave more like the actual stock. So it's less gambling, but more structure. Section three, at the money explained. Now we move to at the money. At the money means stock price is basically equal to the strike price. An example would be a stock, or let's say Apple is at $100 and the strike price is $100. At this point, there is no real profit if you exercise a contract. So what are you paying for? You are paying for movement. At the money options are extremely sensitive because they are sitting right on the edge of becoming profitable. This is where small moves in price and create big percentage swings in the option value. But there's also some risk here. Because there's no intrinsic value protecting you, everything depends on timing and movement. Section four, out of the money explained. Now let's talk about out of the money options. This is where most beginners lose money. Y'all need to lock in. Out of the money means the option has no real value yet. So for a call option, stock is below the strike price. An example would be, let's say the stock is at $90 and the strike is at 100. You would not exercise that option because it makes no sense to buy at $100 when the market is at 90. So why does it still cost money? Because of the potential. The market is pricing in the possibility that the stock could move above $100 before expiration. This is where things get dangerous. So because these options are cheap, people overbuy them thinking they are getting a deal, but they are actually buying lower probability outcomes. Section five, intrinsic value explained. Now, let's connect everything to intrinsic value. Intrinsic value is the real guaranteed value inside an option. So for calls, stop price minus strike price, and for puts, strike price minus stop price. If it is in the money, intrinsic value is the portion you could immediately realize if you exercise the contract. So an example would be, let's say Apple is at $110 and the strike is $100. Intrinsic value is $10, And this is the real value and it's not speculation. Section 6, extrinsic value explained. Now, this is where most traders misunderstand everything. So extrinsic value is everything beyond intrinsic value. It is made up of time remaining until expiration, implied volatility, market expectations, and demand. This is the part of the option that can disappear even though you're right. So the full equation is option price equals intrinsic value plus extrinsic value. So an example would be an option costs $12. Intrinsic value is $10. So that would mean $2 is extrinsic value. And that $2 is not guaranteed. It decays over time. This is called theta decay. So even if the stock moves in your direction, if it does not move fast enough, extrinsic value gets destroyed. And that is how traders lose money while being correct. So here is the final connection, what I need y'all to understand. So now when you put it all together, in the money options is higher intrinsic value. It's more stable, but it's at a higher cost. At the money options is no intrinsic value. It's all extrinsic, but it has high sensitivity. Out of the money options is no intrinsic value. It's all extrinsic. It's higher risk, but it's a higher reward structure. Once you understand this, you stop trading options blindly and start thinking in probability and pricing. So if this breakdown helped you understand options on a deeper level, drop a like, comment, and subscribe so I know you all are locked in. And if you want to watch me break down actual SPY or QQQ option trains, be sure to join me on live and join the Discord. It's free, by the way. Join the Chrome Trader Discord so that you guys can become a more proficient trader. I'll catch y'all on the next episode.